lesson plan 2 in the Judy Bloom Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing lesson plan video series. Again, this is geared for a second class year group, year 2, or we have of course grade 2 in the US. So here we go. So the first thing we're looking at is our vocabulary opener. Today these words again are from our chapters 3 and 4. So contextualized words: impressed, mugged, recognized, discovered. So here again, explicit teaching is most effective. So you can have up on your board, for example, you could have like a set of pictures, random pictures that illustrate the words and the words themselves, and have a class discussion around it. That's usually how I like to introduce words. So developing their understanding, and again of course having your explicit instruction of what it is, and then again connection to a game. So again, today's game, can you match the word to its meaning? And again, you could have kids call out, a definition, and other kids have to shout out what they think it means. Changing it up in vocabulary can be important to engage in them. Right, so the first thing we're going to do as a class is to talk about this skill of comparing and contrasting. When we look at two things, of how they're the same and how they're different, you might want to pick up one or two kids from the class and explain, how one is tall and one is shorter, how one is wearing black shoes and one is wearing white shoes, or from the environment, like, if there's two trees outside the window, how one is tall, how one has leaves and one doesn't have leaves. So you're getting this idea of comparing and contrasting, and you might want to go ahead and get the kids thinking about things around them, of how they're alike and how they're different, to start using the words. And then we're going to, so far and what they've read up to this point, so again this is following on from lesson 1, you can have a class discussion around the two characters, Peter and Fudge, the brothers, so how they're alike and how they're different. And again, this idea of the Venn diagram is a really good connection with maths as well, so explaining where the differences go and how we compare goes in the middle, because it's connected to both ideas. And then you're going to move into your reading, and again, pausing with questions is so effective. You have your final activity, and again, break between your it can be a literacy game, between your activity and your reading. And again, for the final activity today, we're going to pick out two characters, Peter, Sheila, Jimmy, Fudge, Mr. and Mrs. Hatcher. Draw your Venn diagram in your book and compare and contrast the characters in the book and how they're different and how they're the same. You may want to, like with your kids that are maybe, EAL, you might want to have sentence starters on the board so that they can, or keywords or phrases to help them with this. You might want to have a template of the Venn diagram done if you want to keep your books neat as well. That might be helpful. And then, of course, the opportunity for them to share and talk about this as the class is so important as well. Okay, so join us in the next video for lesson number 3 on sequencing.